Greetings, Kryptonians in the land of YouTube. I can kind of judge where market sentiment's at by looking at comments. We'll start here. Put a little slideshow of market cycle psychology together for you. Now I'm going to go through a bunch of different things, just kind of rattle through it. First, I want to bring your attention to this. This is Gary Gensler. He's the SEC chair. He used to teach blockchain technology courses at MIT. He knows cryptocurrency and DeFi inside and out. This isn't just some schmuck spitting out FUD. This is the SEC chair. He's there for a specific reason. It's not a coincidence he's there. He says crypto is rife with fraud, scams, abuses, threatens national security. Okay, this isn't FUD. There might be people out there that want to tell you this is FUD. That's not FUD. Okay, that's not FUD. Those words are not FUD. This is real. Just keep that in mind when I'm about to go through this slideshow of what market cycles look like. The problem is this is a legitimate thing. That cryptocurrencies is rife with fraud, scams, and abuses. It threatens the general public. It does. It threatens you without a doubt. It's too bad because Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the real projects, they're going to get caught up in regulations. There's regulation coming. In the end, it will probably be good, but just keep this in mind right here. This is not FUD. This is not a FUD story. Anyone that tells you this type of stuff, national security is FUD. That's not FUD. This is not some schmuck that doesn't know what he's talking about. Here is our current Bitcoin cycle market. I've been trying to say, now I could be wrong. Bitcoin could defy everything. I don't even have the words for what it would take to go up here, like everyone, or not everyone, but lots of people are saying. There's talk about Bitcoin going to 100,000. I don't know where they're getting that from. So I got in. Here's my story. I got in here. Those of you who've been watching know I started buying in here. We'll talk about this later. And I was telling my viewers, get ready to buy down here. Right now, take an image of this in your mind as we go through this slideshow I'm about to show you. These are the things I personally learned before I even started looking on the internet for market cycles. This is why I was so pumped up about Bitcoin when I first got into it, trying to get people into it. That's because I knew this was coming. See that? There it is. That happened. I thought it would go quite a bit higher, maybe twice as high, but it didn't. Here's the weekly chart of this cycle. Just keep a mental image of this as I go through this video. Each one of these bars is a week. Here's the daily. Each one of these bars is a day. They're basically showing the same thing. What I've been saying is likely was we're going to come down here. That didn't happen. Elon Musk got involved here. This is an illegitimate pump. I tried to tell people that. Maybe I'm still wrong. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe everything I'm saying is wrong. But just watch the rest of this video. There's people out there that make it confused with what I'm saying, but Elon Musk here, he has a ton of influence. For those of you that want to say he can't do this, yes, he can. He just triggers it, and then all the bots and all the supercomputers and all the big traders, it's all a waterfall cascading effect after these triggers. Trigger here, right here. Trigger. Elon Musk here. Elon Musk got together with the guy that runs Twitter. Now, mind you, Elon Musk triggered it with Twitter here, and now he has the guy that runs Twitter trigger here. So when the first days when this happened, I tried to say this is the worst thing that could happen, and then it just keeps on going and going and going. It's not going to end good. I could be wrong. Hopefully, I'm wrong. For all the people out there that are about to get it handed to them, hopefully, I'm wrong. But what I think is going to happen now is, regardless if this comes up a little higher, if it comes up to here, if it comes up to here, or if this is the top right here and it starts to come down now, regardless of how high this goes, that's irrelevant. This is probably what's going to happen. It's going to end up coming back down here. Now, let's not get confused with 20,000 or 15,000 or 29,000. It's probably coming down here. That's just a natural cycle. It needs to gain strength and momentum. Momentum is what I've learned. It needs that to do this again, right? So I've been saying maybe 2022, there's an unexpected pump coming that no one's talking about yet. Maybe 2023, but it takes time, right? It takes time. This is too fast and too steep. Now let's go through the slideshow I want to show you. Hopefully you haven't clicked away from my video yet because you've been watching Hype Squad videos talking about amazing things are about to happen. And this is the retail market. When people buy big amounts of Bitcoin on over the counter, that doesn't affect this market. So a lot of that stuff they tell you doesn't matter to begin with. But anyways, let me rip through this slideshow I put together for you. These are just various market cycles. Some of them will be cryptocurrency. Some of them will be S&P. Some of them will just be, just stock market cheat sheets or Wall Street cheat sheets. And let's go through it here. Now, that mental image I told you to take of the weekly and daily Bitcoin chart that we're in right now, I don't have to tell you where we're at on these charts, right? Right? I'll just rip through it. Keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. This is not FUD. This is not FUD, folks. This guy is the real deal. He understands very well. It could end up being wonderful for cryptocurrency. Could end up being wonderful in the long term. Obviously, you have that mental image, right? These are market cycles. The one thing I could see how Bitcoin could sneak out of these charts is if the big giant market cycle that I'm calling a market cycle turns out not to be a market cycle, and it's one of these little things here. See where I'm at here? The big giant 8-month up to $65,000. If that is this, that's the only way I can see Bitcoin escaping a market cycle psychology playing out. Right? Bitcoin is cool and special and awesome, but I don't think it can escape the dynamics of market cycle psychology, right? Anyone that was around here on the bull side knows there's optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria, and now this big crash, and now we're at complacency. So a while back, I kind of mistook the last little push up in the distribution area as the complacency area. But looking at it more now, I see that that was just the last part of the distribution, right, where Elon Musk threw out the bad for the environment tweet and tanked the market. Peak of inflated expectations, trough of disillusionment, slope of enlightenment. I kind of added these in here because it's kind of a different variation of the market cycle psychology charts. It's a little less worse. It's just every one of these market cycles, you can see, looking at that chart, you can see where we're at, right? It's obvious. unless, like I say, the only way I can see this not playing out like this is if the $65,000 that we think is the top, if that turns out to be this right here at optimism. But I know for a fact we've already went through thrill and euphoria. But maybe that hasn't totally happened yet. Maybe that's the only hope that's a sliver of hope I can see that even would make sense. Otherwise, we're obviously right here, right now. Complacency, I don't know how far up we're at, if we've got further to come up. Breaking over 50,000 would be pushing it, in my opinion. That's kind of the border, right? 50,000, 51,000. Watching that area to see if Bitcoin can flip that from resistance to support. Here is one where they took the Wall Street psychology of a market cheat sheet and overlaid it looks like the 2017, 2018 cycle of Bitcoin in blue. They overlaid it over top the psychology of a market cycle cheat sheet you may have seen before. And look at that. So like in this one, it's hard telling if we would be here on the blue chart or if we would be here. But either way, it's in the complacency area. Oh, I meant to say this is DAI coin. Right now, I'm over on BlockFi. Got some money. I got my money in DAI coin and Gemini coin on BlockFi, earning 7.5% interest. Now it's not insured over there, but BlockFi and Winklevoss twins, they got a reputation to protect, and it doesn't get is any better than that as far as names and crypto. So I don't have a ton of money over there. I wish I had more. Thanks to Elon Musk, I have a lot less than I would, but the money I do have left is getting 7.5% interest on BlockFi. If you want to go over to BlockFi, there's a link down in the description. You can also get a USD coin over there and some other stuff that earns high interest. That's where I'm at right now. I do have some ideas for some other coins I'll be making videos about. Psychology of market cycle. This is Bitfinex. This is actually a Bitcoin chart. This is 2017, 2018, and it's got the mini bull run in 2019. You can see, what does that remind you of? The mental image I told you to take. There's another Bitcoin last cycle. This would be about where we're at right now. Like I said, I don't know for sure how high it'll come up or what, but maybe it makes them run at 60,000 or even up to 65,000. Okay, so I found some joke charts on Google. I found some jokes. People made jokes. This is literally what a lot of YouTubers and people out there are telling you what's happening. They're saying this is what's going to happen, right? And this one's titled "New Paradigm" with exclamation marks. New paradigm, smart money, stealth phase, institutional investors, awareness phase, the mania phase, right? This is where we just pumped up. This would be 65,000, right? And we pumped down here, and now this is where we're at right here, complacency. And what they're telling you, this is going to happen, right? Now the moon phase is next, right? It makes no sense. This is a joke chart. This is made to make people laugh. Here is the cycle of the high-tech.com bubble and panic of 2000. What do all these cycles have in common? All-time high, come down, dead cat bounce, like I was calling it a few videos ago. There's lots of things you can call it. Dead cat bounce, complacency, whatever you want to call it. All these charts, see how they're all working? This one's calling it return to normal, right? Return to normal. Notice the words bull trap down here. Bull trap. I was making videos about bull trap down here. We'll find out. We'll find out for sure. So there's lots of ways to look at it. It gets confusing. Lots of people on YouTube are trying to day trade, and they don't understand what I mean when I say this was a bull trap down at, that supposed spring at 28 and 29,000. If you're a day trader, then what I'm saying really doesn't make sense. Day traders don't really care about this stuff, but it gets kind of confusing. It does. I understand switching back and forth YouTube channels. People are talking about different situations, right? I'm talking about the whole cycle, mainly for investors and people who don't have time to sit in front of a computer for 10 hours a day and day trade. This is where we're at right now. Everyone, it's returned to normal. I can look at the comment sections, and everyone thinks it's returned to normal. And we're going, might be pumping. Not everyone. I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot. Right? The sentiment has changed. And we're back. We're back to it. Yeah. This is from Crypto Whale or at Crypto Whale. This is a market cycle psychology of cryptocurrency. You can see how all these are very similar, right? Where would we be at looking at that mental image I told you to take? This chart's interesting. See how the complacency fade actually comes all the way back up. This one's actually showing it setting a new high. Look at that. This would be like Bitcoin coming up to like 68,000, right? So that could still happen. That doesn't mean anything as far as the cycle playing out, right? You can see that. See how the green bar? I'm not sure what this is. I think this might be XRP, maybe. I'm not real familiar with that. But you can see, right? The dead cat bounce can go really high, but it's still complacency, return to normal. What comes next? Dumpage. Psychology of a crypto market cycle. This is the XRP one here. That doesn't come up that high actually. What do they all have in common? From S&P to the dot-com bubble to just to crypto, all these cycles, what do they all look like, right? Is Bitcoin really that special that it's going to change? Right? Here's just kind of a joke one here. This is about DeFi cheat sheet. They taken the Wall Street psychology chart and they chopped the half off and they turned it into a DeFi, a DeFi rug pull. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Here's another one. Distribution phase. So lots of people are calling, when I was making those Wyckoff videos, for those who watch that, lots of people saying it was a Wyckoff accumulation that's going to pump back up. And they're saying this was an accumulation phase. But if you look at market cycle charts, I've never found one that drops out of distribution straight into an accumulation. It makes no sense. This is where accumulation happens. This is what I was trying to tell my viewers. Get ready to buy if Bitcoin comes down to 20, 15,000. This is where the accumulation phase happens. Down here, it makes no sense up here. For Bitcoin to go to $100,000 this year, like there's for some reason there's people talking about that, it would take another $1 trillion from where we're at right now today. $1 trillion would have to pump into Bitcoin, and that's not counting the money that traders take out of it. So it might be $2 trillion would need to come into Bitcoin in the next 3 to 4 months, right? I don't know where people think that's going to happen. It makes no sense to me. I could be wrong. Here's another chart. A simplified market cycle. It's labeled. Here we are, right? Boom, boom, boom. Come down, right? Complacency. Down here, right? Here's where the accumulation's at, right here. Here's another one. Chart after chart after chart. Like I said, the only way I can find an argument to say that this isn't what's happening is to say if this is Bitcoin 65,000 right here, right? If this is right here, this little section, if this is the where we're at, if we're here right now, if this is where we're at right now today, or right here, right? If this is where we're at right here today, that is the only way I can see Bitcoin going much higher, right? If we've mistaken the top for just a little correction, but you're talking about $1 trillion minimum, $1 trillion to get to 100,000. You're talking about 500 million to get back up to 65,000. About 400 million today from today. So that's the only way I can see if this is the whole market cycle so far. That's the only way I can see Bitcoin escaping and not being here. Right? If we're here, this is probably what's coming next. Something along these lines. I highly doubt that's just where we're at, right? I'm pretty sure we went through the belief and thrill and euphoria. I'm pretty sure we're in a complacency, back to normal, right? Dead cat bounce, whatever you want to call it. Psychology of a Bitcoin market cycle. This is the last Bitcoin market cycle. Look familiar? This is kind of what I'm interested out here. This would be 2022, 2023. This was where the 2019 mini bull run started. I'm interested for that. Maybe Bitcoin doesn't come down as far as it has in past. Maybe 29,000 is close to a bottom. Maybe it does level off, but there needs to be an extended time, right, for a true accumulation. It's just too fast, too steep. The people that have $1 trillion, the real big players, they're not gonna watch an asset lose 60% of its value and then just stick $1 trillion into it, right? That's not how they do that. And the retail doesn't have $1 trillion. I hope not, because they're gonna lose it most likely if they do. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. So, day traders can say this was a bear trap right here. And technically it was for a day trader, but this is a bull trap in a market cycle, right? There's people right here right now screaming about, oh, it's wonderful, all those stupid bears, Well, just maybe just wait a little while, huh? I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Chart after chart after chart. I don't find any psychology of a market cycle that goes up here and then comes down here and then takes right back off, right? That's the joke. The joke charts, the literally joke charts I showed. Here's another distribution. This is kind of the same one I showed earlier. It doesn't drop into accumulation after distribution, right? Just accumulation would be over here somewhere. A bear market, a Bitcoin bear market, basically would be an accumulation phase and these long-term charts, market cycles. I like this one. This one would show Bitcoin coming down and having like a plateau. This is kind of interesting. I could see Bitcoin maybe doing that. Best case scenario. Here's 2017 Bitcoin again. Kind of just talk. This is the Gartner hype cycle. That's what these are called, hype cycles. Shoot, I should have said it earlier. These are called hype cycles. How a hype cycle acts, right? Oh, it's awesome. Oh no, what did we do? Right, slope of light, man. Let's kind of just balance out in the middle, right? Plateau. That's kind of interesting. Keep in mind something like that. I think that's gonna wrap it up. I should have showed. No, this not. I should have showed this one first. This is the Wall Street cheat sheet of a market cycle. We would be right about here, somewhere in here right now. This could come up much higher. This could come up higher, right? And still be stuck in the psychology of a market cycle. Here's another joke one. Someone took the Wall Street cheat sheet market cycle and called it a crypto trader cheat sheet, psychology of a market cycle. And it shows it, see how it's the same. And then this is what people out there are trying to tell you is going on right now. We just had this big giant 60% crash, right? And we come back up here and look what they did to it. They put this is what I was trying to tell people with the Wyckoff charts I was showing last month or so, 2 months ago, is it doesn't just drop out of distribution into accumulation and pump, right? And this is literally a joke right here, just for fun. This is literally a joke. This is making fun of crypto people, literally making fun of them because this is what they're saying is going to happen, right? The euphoria stage drops out of euphoria into accumulation and pumps even higher. Now, I'm not saying that Bitcoin won't do that, but from what I've learned, it just seems so ridiculous to even consider. This is literally people making fun of that idea, right? How ridiculous it looks. Bitcoin on Coinbase 2017, 2018, the last cycle. Zoom in on that. See how that's working. Bull trap. It depends on a time frame you're looking at. I think it's kind of confusing. This is okay. This is what I was trying to say before when I said when I got in, right? If this was the Bitcoin chart we're looking at right now today, I was saying I got in here. I got in a little late. I was a little late to the game, right in through here. I wish I ever got in, back at 5,000, 7,000, 9,000, 10,000. I got in at 20,000 here. But this is what I was trying to tell people, my viewers. Get ready to buy. This is the buy area down here, right? This is how the professionals would do it. This is how they play. This is the Wall Street market cycle cheat sheet. This is how they would play it. They would buy here, hold all the way up on this side, which basically is the bear market coming down. Start selling. Sell. Down here, buy. And then it comes back up to the next cycle. You buy. Hold. Sell. Buy. That's how the pros do it, right? I know for a fact there's people on YouTube telling you to buy up here and hold, and calling you saying you have strong hands. That's not how it works. The the professionals are laughing at you. That weak hands. That's what weak hands are. The people that buy up here and hold, the professionals call those the weak hands. And there's people on YouTube flip-flopping it saying, you got diamond hands. You're the strong hands. If you buy here and hold, you got diamond hands. You got strong hands if you hold. It's the opposite. The professionals call you weak hands for buying up here and holding. They call you weak hands. This is kind of interesting. This is that market cycle, and just in theory, say this was the 2013 Bitcoin cycle, 2017 Bitcoin cycle, 2021 Bitcoin cycle. That's kind of neat, right? See how this working? Tops out. After it tops out, there's no giant pump. There could be, but it takes time, right? It takes time. There needs to be momentum building to go for another huge pump. I think that's it. That's it. I sure hope you enjoyed this video. Let me go back here, show you this chart. There it is, daily chart. Let's look at it on a weekly. I sure hope you enjoyed this tidbit of info. I hope I didn't drone on too long and bore people, but I do believe this is valuable stuff. Keep in mind, this is not investment advice. I could be wrong. Maybe Bitcoin defies all logic and reason and pumps up from here to 100,000. Maybe that happens. I could be wrong. Anyways, hope you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching.